Hello?
Don't do the podcast, Gill.
Why?
It's what he wants. It's a trap, Gill.
Oh no.
Who wants to play naughty boy?
Oh, there we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Jacket Talk, where it's two guys, a girl, and a horror show. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by a guy who loves to sit around shirtless while wearing a mask. It's Nathan.
Yep, I'm gonna belt you.
Ooh, I haven't been a naughty boy.
That's a lie.
It is.
I'm also joined by a girl. I'm also joined by a girl who dreams of ghost children. It's Gill.
God, I wish it would stop. Help me.
That seems unpleasant. Not nice dreams.
Sure is.
Yikes. Hopefully we can help you through your dreams so they don't turn into nightmares. We watched The Black Phone from 2021. It was directed by Scott Derrickson, written by Scott Derrickson, and C. Robert Cargill. They were the team that brought us Sinister. I don't know if you guys remember that movie at all.
Oh, yes.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I like it.
Me too. It's so good. You got to watch it, Nathan.
I will at some point.
This is based on the short story The Black Phone, which is a part of the book 20th Century Ghosts by Joe Hill, one of my favorite authors, actually probably my favorite author. Ironically, it's the only book of his I haven't read.
Oh, really?
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Been meaning to read this one for a while because I saw the movie back when it was in theaters. I was like, whoa, Joe Hill wrote this. I didn't realize that, but never got around to reading it. The Black Phone had a budget of $16 to $18 million. Do you know how much it made at the box office?
I don't know what year, 2021? So this was kind of still a COVID movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In a way. So I would suggest that possibly it made most of its money on streaming and that it probably made $10 million at the box office.
I do see that logic, but I feel like this one did really well. I feel like it was very mainstream. Like a lot of people talk about it, and there's a lot of buzz about the sequel coming out.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to say 100 million. I don't fucking know.
Jill's the closest. It made $161.4 million.
Oh.
God damn.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a reason why this got a sequel.
Yeah. That's really, really good for a low budget horror movie.
And this is a Blumhouse movie as well, so they're pretty known for making those low budgets go a long way.
Right.
People love them.
Yeah.
People go see them. A lot of people go see them, you know?
I was going to say, Blumhouse these days doesn't have the best reputation, in my mind anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
They put out some
Swim
bangers.
was last year.
Night Swim is garbage, but think of the bangers, man. Think of Megan.
Yeah, Megan was good.
It does seem like Blumhouse has like hit or miss horror movies a lot of the time, but you can't argue with them in their financials and what they do with these movies and properties.
Definitely not.
The Letterboxd rating is a 3.3 out of 5, and currently it sits at an 81% on the thermometer, which means it's certified fresh. But what did we think of this movie? Before we go any further, if you could please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and also hit the notification bell, because when we have a new video, you'll be the first to know. Isn't that right, Nathan?
Yes, it's a privilege.
Yeah, don't let Nathan take the belt out on you. Go subscribe.
They might like that.
The reason why I wanted to do The Black Phone and have thought about reviewing The Black Phone for a while is when I first saw this in theaters, it was kind of a surprise to me in how I actually liked the movie, because this isn't the sort of horror movie that really appeals to me, a kind of ghost children angle. I found myself pleasantly surprised, and I really enjoyed it in the theater. It was like one of those things where I thought a lot about the movie afterwards and maybe where they could go with this movie too, and franchise ideas and things. It kind of got me excited, really. The other thing too is, and I know this was a short story written by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son, but you feel a lot of Stephen King in this movie.
For sure.
And for me, though, it's like kind of the best parts of Stephen King movies, because the issue I always have with Stephen King movies is it's like a lot of exposition, a lot of setting up the town, or a lot of setting up the people within the town. And this was kind of like, I felt like it did a lot of that, but in a short period of time. It like condensed it all. It was actually a pretty good movie going experience. And so I want to talk to everyone about it, especially because the sequel is coming out soon. So before it comes out, I want to get everyone's thoughts. Nathan, is this your first time seeing The Black Phone?
Yeah, I watched it for the first time earlier today, actually.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't like doing. I just couldn't find the time. I usually like to sit with a movie longer than that, but that's all right. I thought this was pretty good. I enjoy its simplicity, that it's basically a ghost story. It's got some themes of child abuse and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel the need to explain itself too much or do things to make the story convoluted. It's just a boy in a basement being held by a madman, and there's some ghost children who were killed by that madman trying to help him out of the situation. If you dig under the surface, there's themes there, but the story itself, that's all it is. I really like that. Jill, what do you think?
So this is my, I think, second time watching The Black Phone. I can't remember when the first time was when I watched it. I remember having like a pleasant time watching it. Like I thought it was cool at the time, but I couldn't really recall what happened for some reason. So when I was watching it, I was like, I just remember the phone being a thing and people being captive being a thing, but I kind of forgot like a lot of the main beats to it. But for the movie itself, I think it being based on a short story, this is like my little bit of criticism on the movie. I feel like a short story length should kind of stay short story length instead of a feature film. I watch a lot of Creepshow. That's Stephen King right there. And I feel like this would be, and Joe Hill does a lot of work with Creepshow as well. So I really think this would be a good Creepshow episode or segment, but an hour and 43 minutes. I don't know. I didn't get bored at all, but I was kind of feeling the simplicity of it. I was like, I really wish there were more to this than the simple story that it is, because I just kind of want more out of it. That's really my only critique. Well, except for Mason Thames, who plays Finney. I thought he was kind of boring because his sister, Gwen, played by Madeline McGraw, I thought she outshined him.
And trust me, he could kick the shit out of either of you blindfolded.
I
don't even know if it was just, the acting or her character, like how it was written. But yeah, it's rough when the kind of side character outperforms the main character and you care about them more. So that's my other little critique.
Yeah, it's especially rough since that little side story with the sister having the dreams and all that sort of felt superfluous as well.
Yeah, but I think it would have worked really well in like a shorter segment. But apart from that, I think the villain of the Grabber is a great villain because it's so real. Like, I don't know, growing up, there is a guy in my hometown who also abducted kids, like actually.
Oh, shit.
And so it was like something that like I grew up being very afraid of. Like don't walk home at night alone, especially as a young girl, because this guy could pick you up. So I really felt that fear. I think it's very real. And I liked that in this small town, he recognizes the kids who went missing from just like hearing their story and like hearing their voices and stuff. I like the black phone as sort of like a symbol or motif in the story. I thought it was very interesting. I love that it's a rotary black phone. And going back, to the Grabber, I think his character design, the mask, is very cool. And I'm sure Kevin will have some stuff to say on that. But I just love the mask. I love the way he looks. His mannerisms, Ethan Hawke is amazing. And he's just like so creepy and just like weird, like, but also charming. Yeah. I don't know. I just really love him. What did you think?
What you said was something that I really picked up on during this watch of the Black Phone, where you were saying it's kind of like simple and a short story. Maybe it should have been kind of a shorter movie or part of an anthology. I really think they're smart with this movie because this to me seems like what Dan from the Mouths of Madness says a lot. It's like setting the table. It is a simple story, but there's a lot of meat on the bone that they don't really even go into, like, and especially with the grabber. Like, we don't really know much about the grabber. And I think it was all done on purpose.
And I don't want to know more about him.
Yeah.
It works for me that we don't get backstories and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it makes it scarier. You know, it's like the reason why Michael Myers is iconic too from Halloween. He's kind of a blank slate. That's why, like, I think this hits for me a little bit, and I'm really interested in seeing a sequel because something I had thought about before I even saw the trailer for the sequel was maybe making this guy into, you know, kind of a new horror icon. Like, once he is dead, you can set up like a Freddy Krueger type of story with him too. He transcends into dreams. Maybe this is just the beginning of his story. Like, this is like the Freddy Krueger story when he was burned by all the parents in town.
Right,
There's
the story that we never really saw in a movie, just explained in the first one. Yeah.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, that's what I'm hopeful for. Do I know what's going to happen? I don't know. Like, maybe this is as good as it gets. I do want to get everyone's thoughts because Gill had started with the grabber and I had talked about it. Is the grabber, or could you see him becoming kind of a big horror icon? I mean, the mask itself seems pretty iconic, does it not? Nathan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the mask is pretty iconic, but the character, to me, one of the scariest things about him is that he was a grounded villain. That he was just some guy that was running around stealing children. He had no powers. He wasn't a ghost. He was just some guy. And to me, that makes it difficult to even imagine a sequel at all. I haven't seen the trailer yet. He's dead at the end of the movie. And I don't know. I feel like if you make him supernatural, it changes the entire dynamic of the character, and it's not what I found scary about him in this movie. I would prefer that they didn't do a sequel, to be perfectly honest with you. I haven't seen the trailer, and I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know. At the end of this movie, I was a little confused because I didn't really see room for a sequel.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Nathan, especially the last thing you said with not having room for a sequel. I think especially with it being, going back to what I said earlier, such a short story, it's hard to kind of expand on it and give it kind of more background and keep it expanding when it's supposed to be possibly this like little standalone thing. I think it's great on its own. I don't necessarily think it needs to be expanded at all, and I'm kind of scared with it being expanded because I feel like it could totally just go like downhill. But I don't know what they're doing. Joe Downhill.
Joe Downhill.
I don't know what they're doing. I'm definitely gonna go see it just because I'm interested, but I really hope that they don't go too far with it. I love the grabber. I don't want to see his character kind of tarnished by extra stuff.
One of the things you said too, Gill, is about him being like charismatic.
You don't have to be scared because nothing bad is going to happen here.
I want to get into the time period, how it's set too, because I think that's a key in this movie as well. I think it kind of picks up on some of the serial killers that were in the 70s, right? Like Dahmer and Gacy and things like that, where they were
Son of Sam.
Yeah. And some of them were real charismatic people, like in the communities and things like that. And I think what's super scary is the grabber had like just a regular suburban type of house too, you know, or two houses really that we come to find out about. I guess to your point, Nathan, is what makes it scary because it is grounded in some sort of reality with like serial killers and things like that. It is based on real life events, is it not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like this guy was just a guy. Like he could live down the street from you for all you know. He owns a van and a house.
Dude, he could have been in more cognito mode than he was because this man going around in this like whack ass van that has abracadabra written on it, right?
Right.
His big ass like bunches of black balloons and his mask and like his little magician like shtick. Like, how did these people in this small town like not notice him? Because that's what?
Yeah, I mean,
valid points.
It didn't really look like the kind of small town that has a lot of local color either. Like some of the small towns around me, you'd just be like, well, anyway. But you wouldn't necessarily think to connect that to any crimes around me. Everybody, it's like my town is local color. So,
I love him though. He is charismatic. He is, honestly, I think he's attractive. I don't know if it's the mask. I don't know if it's Ethan Hawke. I don't know what it is, but even the scenes where I know I should be grossed out with like what he's doing, I'm like, he looks really good sitting in that chair topless with the belt. Edit this out, actually.
Nope.
I
mean, you've always been into monster fucking, so,
Yeah, but
he's more
I feel
like
it's wrong here.
This guy's like dad
Children.
bod monster crossover,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too sexy for what he should be.
I feel like those were some of the scariest parts because I didn't know at first when he goes down there and he's like being friendly to the Finny, and he's like, hey, I'm not gonna hurt you, blah blah blah.
What I said about snapping your neck, I was angry, so
I don't trust you at all. And then when he leaves the door unlocked, that's when I was like, uh-oh, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
And then the ghost kind of gives him a was that the first? That wasn't the first phone call he got, right?
No, the first phone call was the tiles.
There's a dirt section of the floor in the hallway where the tile is loose.
He dug a hole under those tiles well before that door got left unlocked.
Yeah, because then the ghost kind of is like, hey, man, he wants you to go up there.
Do not go upstairs.
And that's how, like, I got killed or beaten, right? Like, he got beaten up by the belt.
It's part of the routine. He waits for the child to try and escape and then beats him with the belt and then moves on to another phase that we thankfully never got to.
I was thankful for that too.
Yeah.
I was thankful for the lack of like explicit kind of violence.
Because it's tough when it's children.
Yeah. It was bad enough during the scene where the dad is like,
that scene is disturbing. That might
like
be the most
wailing on Gwen.
That might be the most disturbing scene in the movie, honestly.
That was hard to watch.
I wanted to ask because, another thing I really don't like is like children abductions and things that happen to like younger children. This was very on the line for me, like, because they do show some of these children who are like tough and can fight back. And I was wondering if some of these children, the grabber targeted specifically, because we have like the tough guy pinball kid and then we have Robin, who's like, no nonsense, fucking,
beats up the bullies.
Yeah.
He's capable of beating up pretty much everybody in the school, despite being like half the size of that I was at that age. And I wasn't big.
Right. Do you think like maybe there was something behind that? Because here's where I'm getting at. I picked up on things that maybe the grabber was also abused as a child. He was in that room where he kept Finny. And he talked about hearing the phone and things like that. And I was just wondering if some abusive stuff happened to him. I mean, obviously he's not in the right frame of mind, but I was thinking like, if that's part of like the fucked up game he wants to play is get these tough guy kids and like really beat them down. And he just happens to come across Finny, who's kind of maybe like him. Cause I think he does say like, oh, you're special, or like, there's something like with you. Finny's been abused by his father. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a theme of sort of the cycle of abuse in here, and it would make sense that that was what caused the psychosis for the grabber. Again, it's left a mystery, though. We know nothing of the grabber's backstory. I assume the second one will probably flesh that out a little bit. We'll get to know a little bit more about the grabber. I kind of would rather leave it in the realm of discussions between people. Like, what do you think is wrong with the guy?
Jill, what do you think on that? Do you think like he was targeting like tougher kids and there is like an abusive kind of thread with the grabber himself?
Yeah, I think it's interesting as a question about the grabber targeting certain kids. I actually don't know. One of the things I picked up on was like sexual abuse, which I don't think was like shown on screen. I'm glad it wasn't, but I really think that was kind of implied with some of the things that were happening, right? I don't know if he was targeting them for like, you know, being attracted to them or whatever, which is disgusting. But so maybe that's it, or maybe it's just like convenience for him. I don't know. As for the grabber himself, I definitely think he was, you know, a victim of abuse as well. Maybe that caused his psychosis. Maybe not. Who knows? But I definitely see that with him, like referencing hearing the phone before when he was younger and stuff. So it feels like he was also kind of in a similar place. But also he gives like kind of Michael Jackson vibes, you know what I mean? Like he kind of acts like a child.
I was really starting to like you, Finny.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I really do think he's a victim of abuse. And I also think there's like a lot of parallels. Maybe he's a foil to Finney's dad as well, because they're very similar in ways as well.
Yeah, I was thinking too, diving in a little bit deeper, it seemed like the grabber had multiple personalities. You could maybe pick him out with the different masks he wore a little bit too, because there were, how many different masks did he wear? At least 3,
I think
right?
I counted 3. Like there's the one without a mouth at all, the smiling one, and then the frowning one, right? The reveal of the frowning one caught me by surprise. It was almost like a jump scare. And I was like, whoa, that's not the mask you were wearing. And it's scary. Something about it.
A little sexy.
Creeped me out.
Yeah, I love all the masks. I really do. They were created by Tom Savini, which is awesome, in conjunction with Jason Baker. Famously, he does all the masks for Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. And specifically, he did one for Bray Wyatt when he came back in 2022 at Extreme Rules. That looks very similar to the grabber, which I thought was cool. Kind of a nod to that. I really love the masks and maybe how they portrayed his different personalities a little bit. And he freaks out when he gets his mask taken off, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. At the very end there, when he's stuck in that hole, he freaks out, and it sort of allows Finney to get the upper hand on him and start to choke out with the phone cord there. He doesn't want his face seen for some reason.
It's very kind of like covered though. It's not, we never ever see his like full face, right? Even when he has the balloons and stuff, he has like the big glasses. I mean, it's never just
it's filmed
his face.
Almost from behind too.
Yeah.
That scene there, which by the way was terrifying. That was one of the more terrifying scenes in the movie. It was just like, you knew it was coming because you'd seen the van over and over again, but it faded to black every time before actually showing the abduction was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Dude.
I thought that was really cool, like how you said, like the first couple of times you see the van, like when Bruce is riding his bike, you see it in the distance and you have that fade out scene. Same with Robin, like you see it in the distance and it's like leading us up to Finney's eventual abduction. But I thought that's all eerie stuff. And just the word of mouth stuff too, like the kids all talking about the grabber. Gwen,
they're coming up with folklore about it.
Yeah.
You don't actually believe that story, do you?
No.
Because he can't hear you. He doesn't really take kids that say it.
I know that.
You can't say his name or else that's when he gets you. I love that type of shit. And I love that it sort of subverted my expectations by not being that at all. That was just things kids were coming up with.
Jill, you had said you had like a similar maybe thing in your town with like somebody grabbing kids. Was that like a similar thing though, where like kids were making up these stories?
Possibly, but also parents were like really afraid, so they would, try to tell their kids to like watch out and stuff. So it kind of like prolonged that fear. But yeah, I really like that. But the other thing, I was just thinking, on one side you have a story where you have like this guy who's going around abducting children, but I was just thinking back to what I just said about he's kind of similar to the dad. And bear with me, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but what if
let's go.
What if the grabber is like not actually real? This is really stupid, but just bear with me.
No.
And he's just, a representation of abusive parents, and, and maybe all these kids like got into like horrible situations with their parents. And I don't know, possibly, but I do like it as what it is, the simple story of this guy going around abducting kids.
I think the grabber is a symbol in that way. I agree with you. I just disagree with the idea that he isn't real. I think it can be both. That he is symbolic and that the theme is about child abuse and the cycle of abuse. But then the grabber actually exists within the universe, in my personal opinion. So
as it should.
Yeah.
The other thing that it reminded me of a lot was Coraline, actually.
I haven't seen Coraline, and I'm ashamed of it.
I know.
It's like Haley's favorite movie right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she loves
That's
it.
awesome. Very similar, right? It's a very dark tale, but it's about this girl who her parents ignore her, so she goes into this other dimension where it's a parallel universe, but everything is darker. There's these like ghost children that try to tell her to watch out for this other mother, and they help her like get through all these like trials and tribulations and stuff. So it's very similar to this, with like the ghosts helping Finney out and telling him what to do, and it's kind of wholesome in that way. So it very much reminded me of Coraline. I don't know if the ghosts are in the movie. Are they?
You know what?
I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
Parts of it. Yeah, I've only seen parts of it. I haven't.
The book
actually
is really
sat
good.
down. Yeah,
it's a graphic novel if you have the chance to read it.
I want to get into the actual kids, and we had touched on this a little bit, but I really liked the brother and sister dynamic between Finney and Gwen. I thought it was really wholesome. Even though they had a shithead for a father figure, like they both kind of leaned on each other throughout. Here's my question with them too. Did they have some sort of like shining? I mean, we know that like
the
Gwen,
girl definitely does. Yeah.
Yeah, Gwen does. But does he also? Because the ghosts on the phone told him that the phone's always rang, but he's the only one that can hear it besides the grabber.
It rang, but none of us heard it. Just you. The grabber hears the phone too.
Yeah, they shine.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, actually. I forgot about that line. I just sort of assumed that all the kids prior had heard the phone and tried other stuff based on the advice, but it just didn't work because not all the elements came together at the same time.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, they're both shining.
I don't know. It was kind of a different dynamic to add to this movie, but I mean, I kind of liked it. You have ghosts using a black phone to communicate, so I feel like if we're gonna go there, we can go there with the dreams and the visions and things like that,
right? Of
what was going on. Nathan, what did you think of first off the brother sister dynamic and kind of her having these visions?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the brother-sister dynamic. I liked that they loved each other and they stuck together, as sort of it's safeguard against their own father, as well as the bullies in town. As far as the girls' dreams go, the subplot didn't feel like it did much for the story to me. Like she brought the cops to the house, but Finney had already killed the guy. So that's not that consequential at the end of the day. They didn't come and save the day at all because Finney was going to walk out of that front door either way. And part of my issue with this movie is that it is too long. As I agree with Gill on that. That subplot didn't really do much for me. Every time
half-baked.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like every time we cut to the sister having dreams or whatever, I was like, can we get back to the phone in the basement? And even the thing with the phone in the basement, it was like, maybe they should have cut it down to 3 ghosts instead of like 5. I feel like you could have done this in 90 minutes easily. I don't know. With the dream stuff, I liked watching the dreams themselves.
What the shit kind of question is that? Do you even know who you are?
I'm Finny Blake.
Yeah, well, nice to fucking meet you, Finny Blake. Right here. This is it.
I just didn't feel like it contributed enough to the movie for me to care that much about it. Even though I liked the sister character quite a bit, it was like she was given something to do that I wasn't that interested in, I guess you'd say.
You know what I forgot too? The mother also had the shining thing.
Right. That's true.
Because she, I guess, killed herself, right? That's what the father had said.
That's why he beat her with the belt. He was like, the dreams are just dreams.
Say it again!
My dreams are just dreams!
Was traumatized by the death of the mother and attributed it and was afraid that the daughter was going in the same direction. Not that that's a good justification for what he was doing. I'm just saying that's how he felt.
You're right.
So.
Jill, what's your thoughts on the brother-sister dynamic and the shining capabilities? You said it was half-baked.
Yeah, I really liked the brother and sister dynamic. I like that they kind of depend on each other and lean on each other to like kind of get through the things that they're going through, which is a lot for a kid. And I always felt bad for Finny, like when Gwen went to her friend's house for a sleepover and he was stuck home alone with his dad.
I'm staying over at Susie's tonight. It's Friday, so you know what that means.
Look after that.
Like I really felt for him.
Yeah.
And there's just so much like Stephen King there, like the beer.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering if that was the same brand of beer in like Creepshow and everything else Stephen King does. But with the sister, I got a lot of Carrie vibes. And so I was interested in her kind of arc, but it didn't go anywhere because they spent so much time on Finny, which is the main plot line. So they should. But the fact is they expanded a short story so long that they kind of forgot to make it nuanced, make it sophisticated. You know what I mean? So if you're going to make a short story that long, you have to do those things. I don't know.
Well, I wonder too, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, if again this is like setting the tables. I don't remember if their characters are in the trailer for the second one, but
Yeah, we should Google it.
like I would like to see maybe them go into more of that, because if you're going to make the grabber come back and be supernatural, you need your dream warriors, don't you?
Yeah.
It says it's 4 years after the events of the first film. It follows Finn, who's now 17, who struggles to adjust to life after escaping from his abductor. His younger sister, Gwen, now 15, begins experiencing disturbing dreams and receives calls from the black phone.
I like it.
Is the grabber in the trailer?
Yeah, he's back.
But he looks different. So to me, he's got to be supernatural. Like he didn't survive.
It says he seeks revenge from beyond the grave.
Okay.
So probably supernatural.
So that changes the entire dynamic then.
It seems like a very Freddy-esque story. I mean, I don't know if he'll go there, but even like you saw Jill with the pedophile nuance thing, like Freddy Krueger was also supposed to have a lot of that too. And they removed that from the equation, whereas this also treads a little bit in it, but it doesn't full on.
It doesn't explicitly say, but when you're talking about him having a naughty boy game.
If you don't play naughty boy, the grabber can't beat you. And if he can't beat you, you can't move on to the next part. And the next part of naughty boy was his favorite part.
Yeah, you know.
The suggestion is it pretty in your face, you know, like,
it's him
and he's not
wearing a shirt. Yeah, with the belt, sitting up waiting, like gross.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but also I wouldn't run away. I'm probably too old for him.
Yeah, and also
I'm not a little
girl.
boy.
Yeah. So
yeah, he's not into girls.
Doesn't seem that way.
One of the things I love is this movie being set in the 70s. I love a time period piece like this. It feels so cool. I don't know how to explain it, but it just it feels eerie too, you know?
In a lot of ways, it doesn't even feel like a modern movie. It feels like movies like this aren't made quite as much. It almost feels like it was brought forward from the 70s in a way. It's kind of like a 70s ghost story sort of deal.
I think that's like a harken back to those like time period movies too. Simple ghost story. And I did like too how they dropped in the Texas Chainsaw Robin was going to see. Yeah. Fucking Robin, right? He is like a bully himself, but a good bully.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. When he's beat up the shit out of that bully who was calling him a beaner, you know, you root for him until he starts hitting the kid while he's down and can't defend himself anymore. And I believe Finney even says no one deserves that.
He had it coming.
No one has that coming.
And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, don't like the kid, but maybe stop after 1 or 2 punches after he's down and can't defend himself anymore. Because you're starting to talk about permanent damage with how much he hit him. So
yeah,
you know.
The blood, dude.
In a situation like that, the more blood, the better.
That was very violent. Like that, I think, was probably some of the most like shocking kind of like footage in the movie, because when that other kid is sitting next to Gwen and the blood is like where she like beat him with a rock or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was dead for sure. Like I thought this kid was dead.
And then they kind of just gloss over it. They don't even show any consequences. Gwen getting kicked in the face was also like, like fucking hell.
Come on, man.
You know, when she was
Gwen's
on the ground.
A tough kid, man. Tough.
I love her.
Yeah. She is a little ass kicker for sure. She don't take shit. Even with her father there with the belt too, like she still was giving it out to him, you know, taking away his vodka.
Hit me again and I'm dropping it!
You drop that and I will beat your ass twice as hard.
She dropped the vodka on the ground. Like, fuck you. I know this is going to result in more beating, but I'm doing this to you. And he's like, that was an $8 bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Can't afford that shit.
$8 was worth more in the 70s, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I thought, Jill, you had said something earlier about Finney, maybe the actor who played him, not giving a really good performance. I thought that even though I agree, like he was very just paper and vanilla, wasn't really giving much. I kind of thought that's how this character should portray it a little bit, because kids who I've seen in my life who have been, you know, abused and things like that are very timid and I don't know, they keep to themselves a little bit. It's tough though to see a movie like focus on that character, like portraying it that way. So I agree, but I thought that's why he was portraying it that way, of like just being kind of stone-faced the whole time and not really giving much emotion until the scene where he tries to get through the freezer. And I thought this was like probably the hardest scene to watch, when he tries to get through that wall and the freezer won't open and he like just cries, man. I felt so bad for him in that scene.
I gotta say, that scene was the part where I was like, oh man, this kid is not that great an actor.
Damn.
He was fine. He was fine. I didn't think it was a bad performance, but I also, it wasn't amazing in my opinion at all. In that crying, it felt pretty crocodile tears, like maybe this part of this movie is sort of beyond his abilities, in my opinion.
What'd you think, Jill? Did you find any sympathy for him when he's, you know, down on his luck?
Yeah, I mean, I have a heart. Like, I felt bad for him, but sounds horrible, dude. I felt bad for him, but I was like, man, like this kid kind of sucks. Like, he has to get all these ghosts to like tell him how to get out of here. Like, he's not even trying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm an asshole.
I was kind of mad at him for like sleeping half the time. I don't know if he was drugged or whatever, but I was like, dude, why are you asleep all this time?
Digging all those holes. You ever see the movie Holes? They get really tired.
I haven't seen that one, actually.
Really?
No.
It's a classic.
That kid from Even Stevens.
Yes. Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
It's funny that Shia LaBeouf's been in so much since then, and I still think of him as the kid from Even Stevens. But
This
anyway.
kid, this kid that played Finney looked like Shia LaBeouf.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, what?
Maybe because of the
Hopefully
hair.
he doesn't turn into Shia LaBeouf.
I need a side by side.
What I was going to say, he would fall asleep and then the grabber would just be sitting there in the corner like, dude, you didn't hear a door open? Anything?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Right.
Like your life's in danger here.
Yeah, maybe be a little bit more alert. Even in your sleep, you would think that little sounds would wake him up. He also hangs up the phone when he hears a scary voice. And I'm sitting there like, I don't care how scary the voice is. I'm going to try and figure out what's going on here. Talk to this voice.
I would not be picking up that phone, first of all. I don't even pick up my phone. When it rings, I wouldn't be picking up this creepy ass phone. The fuck? Crawl out the vent. There's so many ways he could have like figured out a way to crawl up to that like window vent thing. I feel. I digress.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, actually, that one kid even asked, have you tried stacking the carpets to get up to the window?
Yeah.
He's like, I've tried everything. And I'm sitting there like, I didn't see you try that. Like, why would you tell him you tried that when you didn't?
He's lying to the ghost. They know. He can't lie to a ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ghosts are in that room, right? They can see what's going on, but they just need the phone to communicate.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. That seems that way. I mean, you see them physically at times, so.
Ghost children that have been like fucked up. That's scary.
That one that was hanging upside down, blood dripping from her or from his neck. Yeah, that was nasty.
Especially the one too that I told him about the belt and stuff, and he was like, he hits you and it hurts, and like you could see all the belt marks all over him and stuff. Oh, there
was some good performances in those ghost voices too. Actually, better than Finney's performance. Now that I think about it, maybe they should have swapped the casting on one of those kids.
Damn, he's getting roasted.
Sorry.
I want to get your thoughts on the ending because we had touched on it a little bit, but what did you think about the ending? And Finney, he puts all this stuff together and he like stands up for himself finally, right? The grabbers had enough. Here's my question. The grabber was planning on killing him anyways, and then the grabber's brother who was a detective but couldn't figure out that there's a kid in his own basement.
Dude, I love that character. Sorry.
I am with you on that, Jill. Max is my favorite character in the movie. He's going all Pepe Sylvia.
And he can't risk them getting away or wake him up if he's knocking him out, which means that the grabber has to live somewhere in this area right here. With
his conspiracy board and and his cocaine. Charlie Day.
He had the same setup.
They don't exist.
He had the same setup. He had like the board. Right. You know, I love when he comes to like, he's like, oh my God, like he sees the map and he's like, oh wait, this house is right there.
Oh God.
He comes down and he's like, yeah, I'll get you out of here. But do you want to hear about how I figured out that you were down here?
Hey, you want to know the story about how I found you, man?
Do you want to hear my story?
I do, actually. That should be the sequel.
That should be the sequel.
Max is alive.
Max is dead though. Yeah, Max is... Well, if the grabber can be alive, why not Max then, you know?
Max gets it pretty brutal.
Yeah, axe to the back of the head.
And I love how he blames Finney. He's like, look what you made me do.
Oh my God. You made me kill my brother. He was an idiot, but he was my idiot.
You made me kill my brother.
No, it wasn't me.
He was an idiot, but he was my idiot.
What a good brother. He could tell he loved him.
We're talking about how Max was dumb. He couldn't figure out that he's got the kid in the basement. But what's wrong with these cops? Why are they so useless?
They are useless.
We know the answer.
We do?
Oh, they're cops.
Oh, well. Yeah.
They're incompetent.
Oh.
Their only lead is a little girl's dreams.
What happened in your dream?
He was taken, that's all.
By a man with black balloons in a van.
Yes.
We found 2 black balloons at the scene, Gwen.
Yeah, they needed her.
I love how they're hinging their investigation on her.
Oh my God. When they go up to the house and they kick the door in, I'm like, you don't have a warrant. And I don't think a little girl's dreams count as exigent circumstances. So it's like you fucked up the entire investigation by searching without a warrant. Like if Finney hadn't killed the grabber wouldn't be going to jail because you fucked up the entire chain of evidence.
Maybe that's the ending that should have happened. They should have burst in, arrested the grabber, and then they were like, hey, do you have a warrant?
All that evidence, throw it out. You didn't have a warrant, dumbass.
And, she ends up sending the cops to his other house.
To the death house, the body storing house. Yeah.
I mean, technically, I guess eventually they would have found the grabber, but it would have been too late. For Finney, at least. Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. These cops are incompetent.
Completely useless.
But what did you guys think of the ending? Because Finney ends up killing the grabber. Were you sad to see the grabber go?
No. I liked the ending. I liked it a lot. I think, it was the ending that it was building to the entire movie. You sort of knew that, they're not going to have Finney do a whole bunch of stuff that's entirely useless by the end of the movie because you have to have it built to something. So him taking all the ghosts' advice and putting it all together, it was great. And I'm glad it wasn't a entirely bleak ending because I was a little afraid that was where it was going to end up going. And I just don't think that would have been right for the movie. It is still a little bleak because they're still with their father, who is still an abusive asshole. But, they're not. It didn't end with the grabber winning,
God, I'm going to hell.
You wanted the grabber to win.
I didn't want the grabber to win. I didn't want it to be that bleak. What I really wanted more of probably was a more gruesome death for him than what he had, because he's messing with children. He's doing terrible things to children. I want to see blood. I want to see guts. I want to see him get justice. I want to see the kids get justice. I don't know. It just wasn't enough for me. And everything else too, all the other kills are off screen except for the brother and the grabber. And I just felt like it could have been more.
The brother's death, I feel like, is the only reason this movie got an R rating.
Yeah. Because
you could have PG-13 this real easy by doing the brother's death off screen as well.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's tough too with children, and showing children deaths. And there is a line there.
Toxic Avenger doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Well, they didn't have to do the children deaths. They could have just made the grabber's death really get Gwen in there with a brick.
You're already at an R. Why not just take that a little further? I hear you.
I think though it was the symbolism at the end because all the ghosts kind of got to speak to him.
Welcome to the nightmare end of your pathetic little life.
You don't have much time.
While he was getting choked out with the phone cord. But I hear you. I think it was gruesome. He kind of split his ankle and was stuck in that little ditch there. I thought that was smart too because you use things like the grate from the window and him digging that hole, so it made it worth the other scenes that kind of seemed tedious throughout. So I thought that was all well done. The dog too, you had the freezer, so that made sense too with giving the dog the meat because he probably wouldn't have been able to get through the dog. I was thinking the ending was going to come a lot sooner in this movie when Finney did sneak up past the grabber who had fallen asleep. This was one of my favorite scenes, which was the scene of tension, trying to figure out that bike lock combination. Very faintly in the background, you see the grabber sitting in the chair asleep. And you're like, oh my God.
In that scene, you start becoming aware of your own breathing. I don't want to breathe too loud; it'll wake up the grabber.
Yes, yes. I thought that was done so well. And then I guess I gotta blame Finney because when he does get out, why is he on the road running down?
I was saying the same thing. Get off the fucking road.
Dude,
he's in
so
a van.
dumb.
The van's faster, but not if you go through somebody's yard. You can't drive through trees. You can run through trees.
That's where I thought thought he was gonna get killed. I really thought, like, I'm like, oh my god, like this is gonna be like the grabber kills him.
You say one fucking word, and I will gut you like a pig right here in the street.
I am happy that it was like the ending we got, because I think, like Nathan said, it all built up to that ending. You had to have this arc for his character a little bit. He finally does fight back. Like Jill, you were saying, you know, the grabber is kind of a symbol of his own father. So it's kind of like him standing up to his own father in this situation too. I thought that was well done. But like, I agree with you too, Jill. Like, you know, you're fucking with kids. You need to be like really punished and tortured.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They should have set him on fire.
Just like
also,
Freddy.
it would have been Freddy. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Why is Finney such a damn good pitcher?
He's got a mint.
We talk about that baseball. Oh my god,
He's got to be good at something.
Dude, those pitches were nasty. They were. Like, he's got a fastball with ride. It's crazy.
Until Bruce took him out of the yard there.
How did he take that pitch out of the yard? That pitch was down and in. It was out of the zone. That was a nasty pitch, and he took it out of the yard. If that guy hadn't killed that kid, he'd be fucking drafted by the Red Sox.
Lol.
Yeah.
For being able to take that pitch out of the yard. That was crazy to me.
Man.
Sorry.
Man loves his baseball.
I do love baseball.
Man loves his Red Sox.
I do love my Red Sox.
And black
they
phones.
won today. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Ooh.
Yeah, thank you.
Stephen King also loves the Red Sox.
Yeah, Stephen King is a huge Red Sox fan. He's at every playoff game.
I'm thinking maybe Joe Hill also loves them too. So
he grew up with a Sox fan father, so probably. I got a story about Stephen King at a baseball game, but too unrelated.
I'm kind of interested.
So Stephen King was at a playoff game, and Fox was doing the broadcast, and they found Stephen King, and he was reading between innings, and they were like, so what are you reading? Is it one of your own? And he looks at him and goes, why would I read one of my own books?
So what are you reading? Is that not one of yours?
No, why would I read one of mine? I know how they come out.
Yes, but no, don't get cute.
He was just a total dick to the interviewer. He was like, no, what are you reading? And he told him what he was reading. So do you read while the game's going on? He's like, no, I read during commercial breaks. I get to read a lot longer when Fox is handling the game because the commercials are so much longer.
And now that Fox is doing the games, you can do 27 pages because the commercial breaks are longer.
And I was like, oh my God. You're just burning the network and the interviewer. Anyway, that story's awesome. Probably getting cut out of the episode. But
I like it.
He's a treasure.
They played On the Run by Pink Floyd as the mystery was being solved. In that scene where Gwen there was figuring out where the dream took place.
I did like how they just had the soundtrack play. There was no real talking or anything, especially at the ending. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's funny because there's no real notable needle drops in there other than On the Run by Pink Floyd, but because On the Run is like this weird synthy progressive instrumental, if you didn't know it was Pink Floyd, you'd have no idea that it was a needle drop at all.
We're on to Quote or Kill. We're going to give you our favorite quote in the movie or our favorite kill in the movie or both. I'm going with the grabber's death as my favorite kill.
I can't kill you, hijo de puta, so Finn is going to do it for me.
I liked him having his comeuppance, and especially, like I said, I loved the ghost kids being able to tell him "fuck you" while he was being strangled to death. Yeah. I thought that was a cool scene.
Great.
My quote is, and a lot of the quotes from the grabber are just like really good because they're eerie and stuff, but I do love when he talked about the phone ring, and the phone ring itself. The phone ring is always sketchy in a movie, but when he's like,
I was down here once when it rang. Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.
The creepiest damn thing.
Oh,
the way he said it, it's just, I don't trust
so
you.
good. He's so just weird.
Like the scene too where he grabs Finney and he comes out of his van. He's just like, oh dear me, like I dropped these. Would you mind helping me? And
Get in the van.
Yeah. You want to see a magic trick? No, I don't. Oh, God. That's another thing. Finney, be safe, man. You know there's a person grabbing kids.
Are those black balloons in there?
Yeah.
Dude, Finney is dumb.
Jill, how about you?
My favorite quote is from Gwen when she says, Jesus, what the fuck?
Jesus, what the fuck?
I don't know. I just think she's really cool. I love everything that she has to say. I love everything that she does. She's just badass. And she's kind of like comic relief as well. She just kind of handles business, even though it doesn't really help in the end. My favorite kill, I think, is the brother. I think Max is his name, the grabber's brother. Just because I did not expect that. Like that axe or like whatever it was came out of nowhere right on the top of his head. And I was just kind of like, shit, that was unexpected. It was kind of gruesome. What about you, Nathan?
My favorite kill is also Max with the axe. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Same reasons. It was just kind of like, whoa, all of a sudden, like we've been doing this ghost story thing and it's been sort of calm or not calm, no kills and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, gruesome murder, axe to the head out of nowhere. It made me jump a little bit.
I got ya.
Yeah. My favorite quote is also from Gwen because she is funny and pretty great. When the cops are questioning her about how there was black balloons in her dreams and they were like, that was never released to the public. And she was like,
yeah, I took him down because obviously I'm the grabber, you dumb fucking fart knockers.
Gwendolyn Blake.
Dumb fucking fart knockers.
A good one.
That was good. I thought that was funny.
I love Gwen. It's time for our letterbox rating. We're going to rate this movie from 1 to 5 stars. 5 is Gwen because she is badass. 1 is her dad because he's a dick. Jill, start us off with this one.
Okay.
A little jump scare there for you.
Right. So I like this movie more than I don't like it. I think it's good. I really like the grabber as a villain. I like the whole aesthetic of him. I like the way he looks. I like the way he carries himself. He's just very interesting as a villain. I think the supernatural elements with the ghost boys talking through the phone was cool. Something different. I really like Gwen. It was scary enough, honestly, as a horror movie with the dad and the way that he treated those kids. And so I think it's very interesting. It's kind of unique. I just wish that maybe it felt a little long just because, like I said before, it's based off of a short story. I don't know if a film length is the length for this type of story. I don't know if it's the perfect medium. But I did enjoy it the second time, probably more than I did the first time. I'm just going to give it 3.5 stars just because, it's a little long and it seems a little simplistic for me at times. What about you, Nathan? What's your rating?
I am also at 3.5 stars for a lot of the same reasons. I enjoyed the story. I liked that the story was really simple, that it was just like a kid being kept in a basement, getting instructions from ghosts, and it was about these characters. The grabber is a great villain. He's scary. He's kind of pathetic at times too, which is it's scary in its own way. But yeah, I had some issues with the pacing. I don't see why this movie has to be 1:40. It could have been cut down to 90 minutes easily, probably even less than that. Some of the subplot with the sister was just not fleshed out enough for me to care that much, even though I liked the character. Overall, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. I would recommend it to people. 3.5 stars.
You guys are twinsies on this one. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit higher than you both. I'm at 4 stars for The Black Phone. This is, I think, my 3rd time seeing The Black Phone, and it has gotten a little bit better for me too, because one of the things I like about it is there is a lot I think, left on the bone here and where we can go with this story. Like you both, I love the Grabber. I think he is a great horror villain, and I'm excited like to see more of him. Like I think you can do more movies with this character and bring him into the supernatural element and then play in that sandbox. Like I think there's a bigger sandbox to play in, and this is just the start of it, which is exciting to me. Like, you know, I'm also excited by the fact that like these kind of horror movies, they're tough for me. Like they're not always my go-to, but I think this one just worked for me, and I appreciate that. I think I'm excited to see where this goes overall. But as far as this one, I do recommend it, and especially people who haven't seen it, definitely take a watch, because I think it is just a cool ghost story, and you don't really see too many good just ghost story horror movies that much anymore. I feel like they've kind of gone away from them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sort of somber, slow-paced ghost stories are a little out right now.
Yeah.
Which, they should come back.
Yeah, I think that's a valid thing, because I don't think this feels like it's in right now. It very much feels like its own thing, which feels like a throwback too. So I think that's cool. So if you haven't already, check out The Black Phone. Before we end the episode, we want to let you all know what we've been up to. And actually tying into this a little bit, I actually just started rereading Joe Hill's Heart-Shaped Box, which is my favorite Joe Hill book.
Is it just because it's named after the Nirvana song?
I'll be honest with you. When I was told about this book, I was like, I don't want to read that, because it seemed like a Nirvana like cash in a little bit. I don't know why I'm always so protective of that stuff. Like, that makes no sense.
I get it.
But Joe Hill is a huge Nirvana fan, and I think that's part of the reason why he did name the book it. It does revolve around a heart-shaped box, an actual heart-shaped box, and it is a cool ghost story that's really, really scary. I hope this gets made into a movie. I want to see this into a movie. I think it's awesome. Jill, have you read this one at all?
No, I haven't. You've told me about this one before. So I need to put it on my list.
Yeah, it's so good. If you haven't checked it out, definitely read it, especially around spooky season, because this is a really good one. I think it is a little bit easier to digest than a lot of Stephen King books. Like I said, I think you can really picture a movie being made with this, so that would be cool to check out. It is, just to give like a simple what it's about like this kind of old school rock and roll guy that's kind of retired, has some money, and he's kind of skeptical of the paranormal world a little bit, and he looks for paranormal artifacts and things like that. He ends up getting something, which is a heart-shaped box. There's a little bit more to bargain with than he thinks, and it turns out to be pretty scary and terrifying.
Just like the thing that the song is based on.
Yeah.
Scary, you know.
Scary.
Yeah. Sorry. That was the dumbest joke I've ever made in my life, I think.
It's the theme of the night. We're making lame jokes, all of us.
With Halloween season quickly approaching, I'm a huge Halloween movie fan, and I stumbled across this YouTube channel called Mortimer Nightshade, and I'm not a huge AI person, but what he's done is actually something I like. He's created these stories through AI of what happens in between Halloweens a little bit. Nathan doesn't like it.
I am immediately out on this. I am immediately out on this.
This is like a real thing for like, you know, real fans of the Halloween movie franchise, because it does kind of try to fill in some gaps and try a couple different things. I recommend it. If you don't like AI, I totally understand. I'm not a huge AI fan myself, but I do like kind of what he's trying to tell with some of these stories. And, you know, it's kind of like fan writing a little bit, just done through AI.
Right.
So, but it's done really well too. It does set a cool tone. It's not cheap looking at all. So I recommend it. And lastly, I watched Five Nights at Freddy's for the Mouse Madness.
Yeah.
My first time watching it. I never played any of the games, but I thought it was okay. I liked it better than Nathan did.
Yeah.
It was a pretty fun movie overall, but I think they try to do a little too much. And I don't know if that's just because to appease like fans of the games and things like that. But for me, who hasn't played any of the games, it was a lot to take. There is some good. I recommend taking a look at it, even if you haven't played any of the games. But
yeah, I thought it was boring myself. I just felt like if you're going to do a movie based on a children's video game, that it should be like more action packed, more stuff happening. We spent a lot of time with those two characters, and I didn't think that they were enough to carry the amount of screen time they had.
There is a little tie-in too with the Black Phone of like ghost children.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the ghost
Theme
children.
of the night.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep. And dreams and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I agree.
There was a lot of dreaming in Five Nights at Freddy's too, wasn't there?
Yep. But I agree with you, Nathan. It should have been more killer animatronic fun, I think.
Yeah. I was just expecting a lot more of that. And I went into the movie wanting to like it because I wanted it to be big, stupid fun with animatronics and you know, flashing colors to entertain the kiddies. And it wasn't that. It was very slow paced.
Well, listen, man, I'm 0 for 2 because, earlier this year I had seen the movie Mousetrap, and that was also at a like Chuck E.
At an
Cheese type of
arcade.
place. Oh my God. And that is literally the worst movie I've seen maybe forever. It's so bad.
Yeah, you said it was worse than the Bunnyman Massacre.
It was, and I gave all those 1 star.
Yeah.
We got to see Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage. I've heard that one's the one we want to see. I don't know. Jill,
Well,
have you seen that
I'm
one?
always down to watch a Nick Cage movie. So
No, sir.
No.
You said, what about Nick Cage?
I said I'm always down to watch a
Oh,
Nick Cage movie.
fuck yeah.
I mean, even if
Same.
it's bad, I will probably be entertained by Nicolas Cage. So
Yeah.
Not the beast.
The beast. That's it for me. How about you, Jill?
Just because you're just talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, I did just get back from Universal. I went to Horror Nights, and I stood in line for like 2 hours for the Five Nights at Freddy's house. It was the last house I did.
Oh.
I was so tired, and the line was full of like younger people, like kids and teenagers.
Like 9
so
and 10
annoying.
and 12. Yeah.
Oh.
And just like teenagers in general. I don't know. I feel really old. So that was annoying. But the haunted house was pretty cool. They had like the animatronics. And they did get me a couple of times with the
There you go.
animatronics just like rushing at you like from a corner. It fucking got me. I like the movie. Like I think I thought it was like decent. I don't remember like the score I gave that one. But
I don't think you liked the movie.
did I not?
No, because
Let me
when I went
fucking-
to score it, I saw that you put it at 2 stars.
Okay, I mean I did like the movie. Decent.
Dang, I'm at
no,
3
you're
stars
at
with
2
it.
stars.
Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
I really didn't like it.
I was at 1.5. So
I do want to play the games. You can't go wrong there, right? So
Yeah.
I hear they're good.
Okay.
So
I've never played one.
So I went to the theater and I saw The Conjuring Last Rites.
Oh.
So final installment in the Conjuring universe, supposedly, because, there's going to be more.
If
But
this one makes money, there certainly will be, yes.
they always make money off of these movies.
It made a ton
Yeah,
of
it was
money.
okay. It did. Yeah, I heard it was like one of the top grossing like horror movies. If you want to hear my thoughts on it, you can go over to It's Lay's podcast. Me and Rowan did an episode of Now Slaying on it. But yeah, I thought it was cool because it was like the haunting was based in Pennsylvania, like not too far from me. And then like the haunted object in the movie is from the county where I used to live, where I was sitting watching the movie. And I was like, oh shit. Love local stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then I read 2 books. This is not my typical kind of fare when it comes to reading, but I kept seeing these books. They look cozy. This is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. I already have the second book in the series, which is like the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore or whatever. I think this takes place in Massachusetts, up your alley.
Yeah.
Not
There you
up your
go.
alley, but it's local.
Close.
I don't know.
Close to you.
It's just like, a Hallmark movie, but it's a book. It's cozy. Right. Sometimes you just need a reprieve from the world. So I was reading that. All right. And then the other thing I read was a book of poetry, Eat the World, by Marina from Marina and the Diamonds. I always thought her music was good. And so I didn't even know that she put this book out until I saw my friend bought it. And then I went and I saw it on the shelf. So I bought it. So I read it the other night. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I just kind of expected more from like seeing the lyrics of her music. And then it's kind of hard when you see like the modern poetry nowadays. It's very like Instagrammy. It's very short, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to take some of that stuff seriously, but you know, she did a good job at it. So I liked what I read. And I think I also gave the Pumpkin Spice Cafe a 4 stars as well, because, you know, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing thought provoking. You're just turning your brain off and reading some cozy stuff. Nathan, besides Five Nights at Freddy's, what have you been up to?
I was not entirely out of Godzilla mode after we were done, but I didn't watch another Godzilla movie. I watched Pacific Rim.
Fuck yeah.
Which is another kaiju movie. Was really surprised at the end when it said directed by Guillermo del Toro. I didn't know that. And after watching the movie, that is the last name I was expecting, just because I've seen The Shape of Water and Pan's Labyrinth, which are much smaller endeavors. It's a really fun, big, stupid monster movie. Kaijus have been coming out of the ocean because there's some sort of weird portal to another dimension, and the humans decide that instead of just nuking them, which would make sense, they need to build giant robots to fight the kaijus. And the robots are like piloted by 2 people, and they pilot it together. It's big, stupid fun. I gave it 3.5 stars. I had fun with it.
Hell yeah.
You know, if you need your giant monster movie fix and you want something a little modern, I think it's probably better than the American Godzilla movies overall. But but I like the American Godzilla movies too. So, and then I watched Alien Covenant, which is one of the only Alien movies I haven't seen, and that shit sucks.
Everyone hates that fucking movie, dude.
I really hate that movie. You know, it's I guess I don't hate it that much. It's actually really good when it's just being a monster movie. Like, there's a lot of alien segments that are genuinely terrifying, body horror type stuff. The backbursters and all of that.
Yeah.
My issue is that I hated all the characters. The dialogue was just atrocious. There was a lot of boring sort of pseudo-philosophical religious stuff in there that just doesn't matter. And this is coming from somebody who actually didn't hate Prometheus. I didn't love it either, but I liked Prometheus.
Okay.
And then this one just continues down that road, and I was like, man, I thought we got through all this in Prometheus. Why are we doing more of this shit?
Nathan,
with the creator
what's your rating of the Alien movies?
It's a 2.5.
What's your favorite and what's like your least favorite? What do you think of the newer ones?
So my favorite is the original. A lot of people like Aliens the best, actually, the second one. I disagree. I think that's the second best one. But I like the slasher nature of the first Alien. My least favorite, God, I didn't like Alien Resurrection when I saw it in the theaters at like 12 years old. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since then because I didn't like it when I was like 12. So I maybe that's my least favorite. But I haven't. That's not fair. It's been too long since I've seen it.
Let's do a marathon.
Alien Covenant is my least favorite.
Let's do an alien ranking,
actually.
Yeah, we should.
We could
honestly
do an alien ranking.
I'm down.
It's a lot of movies.
Jill, what's your favorite?
Yeah, what's yours? What's your favorite and least favorite?
Yeah.
Damn, okay, so it's kind of a tie. I like Aliens, and I also really liked Prometheus.
Wait, Prometheus, is that your
I
tied
love
for
Prometheus.
number 1? Really?
Yep. I also really like Romulus. I like the newer Alien movies, honestly. I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, I didn't really like 3, honestly. 3 was kind of bad.
Either.
Yeah, what about you?
So the only one I've really seen is Alien, and I saw that 20 years ago.
Oh my God. Okay, we got it.
Holy shit. Wait, you haven't seen Aliens?
I haven't seen Aliens. I've seen parts of it. I just haven't seen the whole thing.
Put it on the list. Put it on the list. That's what we're doing next.
You're not allowed to make fun of Jill for not having seen things ever again.
Whoa.
You make fun of me?
Yeah.
I don't make fun of you. Nathan does.
We make fun of you on
gaslighting me.
What the fuck?
I can't believe you haven't seen Aliens. That's insane to me. Should we hang him up by his toes, Jill, for having not seen Aliens? Like,
we make him
the
watch
belt
it.
out.
Yeah, get the belt out. So also, I started watching the latest season of Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Which is great. Have either of you two watched any of that?
I've watched I've watched the first season.
The first season's probably the best one. It's just a lot of fun. A comedy with Selena Gomez and Martin Short and Steve Martin. It's kind of like a buddy investigation sort of deal, and the age difference between Steve Martin, the old guys, and Selena Gomez is part of the comedy because they're like can't work their phones and shit. It's that sort of thing.
Okay.
And she's making fun of them for it, I
love when they're like setting up the podcast too, and like they don't really know much about like you said, technology and things like that. So it's like me.
Yeah. And I'm in love with Selena Gomez, so that helps too. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Same. Well, we're going to have links down below. You can take a look at all of our letterboxes and see what we're rating the movies we're watching. Also, we have a link to Jill's Goodreads, so you can take a look and see what she's reading as well. We'll be back soon with another episode, and we're going to be covering Mandy. We're heading to the Nick Cage cinematic universe. Strap in.
I'm going to need to put the song in there again, aren't I?
Dude, it's got to be in there.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
Did I ever tell you that this here jacket represents a symbol of my individuality and my belief in personal freedom?
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Pissed blood!
Nick Cage song it is.
But until then, you want to play Naughty Boy? Back to the padded room with you. I've said Naughty Boy like 30 times in this episode.
Filthy. Get the water bottle.